Hello, everybody. It is Catherine Ann Clayton with your Bold Breakthroughs with Business Experts. And if you're not familiar with who I am Catherine Ann Clayton, and I teach driven entrepreneurs, small business owners, and service providers how to create profits in their business, drive more money in your business, to make your money in your business by creating top tier clients. And today I have a very special guest. I'm so excited. Barb Hildenbrand is with us. And Barb, welcome to our show. And I'm just going to let you take over, introduce yourself, and tell us how you help people.
All right. I am so glad to be here this morning. I am Barb Hildenbrand. I'm founder and president of Stepping Stones Consulting. And in that capacity, I empower others to reinvent themselves to achieve their best life. I do that by workshops, seminars, I do keynote speeches. My main thing, though, is teaching. I love to teach because that's where change happens. So that's kind of my focus in the workshops and seminars. And I want to help people better their lives and make a change.
So tell me, you said you love teaching. Have you ever been a teacher in your past life and then you got onto the online owning your own business, or you just love the art of teaching?
Well, I was a Sunday school teacher for a while.
That counts. That changes lives right there, right?
Yeah, I taught the little guys, the 3 and 4 year olds. But when I was growing up, I wanted to be a teacher, and I don't know why, except that I know that knowledge is important. To grow yourself, you need more knowledge. So I think that's kind of where that came from. But I come from a real estate background.
Hmm.
And, I didn't teach, except that I taught people the process of buying or selling. But, I realized that just changes a small portion of the community at a time. And so I decided that I would go into this aspect of teaching where I can have a greater impact on more people. Not
Awesome.
just get somebody a mortgage, but I can actually help them change their life a little bit and move forward.
Awesome. Awesome. So I know that you've written, I'm not sure how many books, but I know that you're in the
Yep.
process of writing another book. And tell us about that book that you're writing.
Well, go figure. It's called Stepping Stones.
Okay,
And
great.
it's a few chapters on steps to take to live your best life, to achieve your best life. So it kind of goes along with my motto. And, I'm talking about time and relationships. And of course, there will be a chapter on faith in there because
Right. But
that's a big part of my life.
audience doesn't know. You said, of course, there'll be a chapter on faith. Explain to me why you have to put a chapter of faith in there. Tell me a little bit more about that. Let's dive deeper.
Well, at my core, I believe that my faith it's what drives me. I know that I am an imperfect person and I live under grace. And I appreciate that so much. I am so grateful for that fact that I have to share it.
Okay.
I can't keep that under wraps. I'm not going to put my light under a bushel.
Right. Even let me ask you this. So, do you believe that, and this was a struggle for me a couple of years ago, do you believe that faith has a place in business?
Absolutely.
Okay. Tell me more
Absolutely.
about
If it's a big part of who you are, then I absolutely believe that it should be forefront. I
that.
mean, the greatest gift I ever received was Jesus.
Mhm.
And so that's the most important thing to me. It's God, family, and work. So that's how I run my life. And that's, of course, absolutely how I run my business.
Well, and I agree with you too. I believe that that has to be the forefront. I am not as vocal as a lot of people about my beliefs.
Hmm.
I, I've since started being a little more vocal. I'm more vocal on a one-on-one situation than out in the
Right.
public. However, I do know, several of my friends and several of, my coaches are vocal about it, and vocal about how God impacts their business. So tell me, one way that maybe God impacts your business, or what you do to really bring the focus back to God in your business to help you increase your business, by whether that's by making money, or whether it's by creating clients, or whether it's by serving others. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
I think mainly in serving others is kind of the capacity, because I think that's what I was sent here to do. And I'm trusting that that is going to result in, the financial aspects that I'm looking for. I really believe that as we serve each other, and this is like a vessel that I can use to, talk about faith and what it means to me and how it has impacted my life. And, how I have the peace about what I'm doing. I know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing because I have that belief that I was put here for this purpose.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, let me kind of switch it on its head a little bit, because that's what I do. I want people to be bold. And
Mhm.
are you afraid? And what does it mean if this happens to you? Are you afraid that because you're forthright in your faith, that you're going to repel people? And does that give you fear that you're going to repel people that are like, oh, I don't want to talk to her, she talks too much about God? Or is that an asset for you?
I think there's a fear there. I mean, we we're in business to make money, and we don't want to push people away by saying something that's going to offend. On the other hand, I know that as I am faithful, God is faithful. So
Mhm.
as I spread his word and tell people more about him, he's going to be faithful to me. He never fails. So, what if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, then I will get the reward, whether it's here or in heaven. Either
Right,
way, I'm hoping it's here a little bit, but
right, right, right. We're hoping it's
I know that
forever,
as I
right?
am faithful, he is going to be faithful as well, because
Right.
that's what his word says. That's what the Bible says.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I do think that, sometimes, you know, for me, I've always had a faith life. I haven't, I grew up in the church, and
Hmm.
the church, but it was never really, it wasn't the one thing that we always did. Our family didn't talk about it a lot. However, I think that sometimes when have people come to our business and they're grouchy, or they're grumpy, or they're whatever, and for me, we get upset that we didn't, get them as a
Hmm.
client or whatever. I feel like, and tell me if you agree with me, I feel like that is God's way of protecting us from something that might have been a hindrance to our business, or changing our perspective and bringing us down in our business. Do you agree with that?
I do. I do. There are some people, one of my favorite sayings is some people are best loved from a distance.
Hmm.
There are certain people that might come into our lives that really we need to not spend a lot of time with because they'll bring us down. And there's an old analogy that I heard one time where if you put on nice clean white gloves and you put them in mud, the gloves get muddy. The mud doesn't get clean. So sometimes we need to stay away from people who might try to dirty our gloves.
Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that. So tell me how, when let's talk a little bit about your clients. How do you work with your clients? What do you do to really help your clients? Like if I said, "Hey, I love Barb Hildebrand and I want to work with her. What are you going to help me create, or do, or learn?"
Create or learn or do yourself. My my focus is I have a signature program called Soul Spa, which is for ladies getting over past emotional abuse and emotional hurts. And then I also have disc programs that I help people understand who they are personality wise. And understanding that can help you move forward because then you understand who you are, why you do the things you do, and how you can relate to other people of the different personality blends. And, we all have different personalities, and some of our personalities don't always get along with other personalities.
You think? You think?
Yeah. So, for example, I'm an I, which is an influencer or an inspiring person,
Mm-hmm.
and which is probably why I like to teach.
Right.
And so people who are, my personality type is optimistic and outgoing, and I like to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
So when someone comes along that's just kind of a bummer,
Right.
um, I I can have a tendency to be brought down if I spend too much time, like you had mentioned before. Actually, you know, I muddy people just aren't good for me personality wise. I can have a tendency to get depressed or be brought down. So, but learning your personality type and how to communicate with the others and how to, especially in selling, if you can kind of understand someone else's personality type and you're trying to sell to them, your high dominant people, they just want a bottom line. They don't want to sit and talk. They don't want to hear your stories. They just want to know how it's going to benefit them, and let's move on and make a decision. Whereas, I'll tell you my life story.
Right. Right. And this for all of you out there that don't know, this is very interesting information. And when I first started in the online space, I came out of corporate, so I
Mm,
was selling for 8 years. But when I really got into the selling and having to learn about, that it wasn't just, okay, this is your price and either you like it or you don't. It was about
mhm.
learning personality types and what person likes this and what person likes that. You learn to ask the right questions
Yeah.
so that you can really figure out, because everybody knows from me, I'm very bold. I kind of tell it like it is. And I'm like, I don't want to hear all this jargon. You hit it on the head. I don't want to hear all this jargon.
Right.
Tell me what you're going to do for me. How much is it going to cost? That's me. However, not everybody's like that. There's
Right.
other, I have clients that I have to nurture and that I
Hmm.
have to spend time with because and again, I kind of know what it is, but I don't know if it's an I or a P or a Z or whatever. But, we have to nurture those because they I have a client I just talked to this morning that's just like you. All he wants to do is help people. And I'm like,
Yeah.
but you hired me to make money. And so we go back and forth because he tends to give everything away for free.
Right.
And I'm like,
Right.
you're never going to make money if you're giving everything away for free, even if that's
Exactly.
time. So it's really important to know these personality types, to learn the different types of people so that you can help them with whatever they need help with. And I know that Barb will be able to, help you with that. So definitely reach out to her. And so anyway, we're kind of coming to the end of this. Do you have something free that you want to give to our audience so they can, maybe learn a little bit more about you?
Sure. I actually have a workshop coming up this weekend. I am doing a Zoom workshop, of course, because we can't meet in person. So it
Right.
doesn't matter where you are, you can attend.
Yeah.
And
There
it's this Sunday at 2 o'clock Pacific time, which is 5 o'clock on the East Coast. And you can sign up on my website or contact me at barb@steppingstonesvip.com.
What we're going to do, Barb, I'm going to make it easy for everybody
Okay.
because
Easy is good.
easy is good. When this video is over, I'm going to ask you to go into, because Facebook, got to follow those rules.
Right.
I'm going to ask you to go into the video and in the comments, put the link to sign up for that
Okay.
workshop. And that will, help people just be able to click on it and go straight there. And I also, this week, everybody knows that I am offering the client building profile secret. I'll have the link in the box down there as well. So you can get on that. And, just for a minute, I want to talk to the audience. I have built this show so that we can really be bold
Mhm.
about getting the breakthroughs that we have. I have looked far and wide for business experts that are really experts in their fields, and they are giving some of themselves by giving you the link to a workshop or a book or an ebook or a video or whatever. So I encourage you to take advantage of this because in the world that we're in right now, I know that there's some issues with COVID and things like that. But some of these freebies, and I would be willing to say all of these freebies are a way to take you to the next level.
Mhm.
Barb's workshop can definitely take you to the next level if that is what you want to work with. So take advantage of these freebies, get them, get as much knowledge as you can. And the great thing is that we're home. Most of us are working from home. So you have time to consume this knowledge. So Barb will put hers in the comments and I will put mine in the comments. And I want to, thank you for coming to the Bold Breakthroughs with Business Experts. And Barb, thank you so much for being a guest.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's been
All
a
right.
pleasure.
We'll talk soon.